Leading the Nightline tonight, Prime Minister Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim stresses that the government's current priority is to keep driving the nation's economic growth while ensuring the welfare of the people remains protected, even as several states prepare for upcoming elections. He says the focus on development and economic agendas must not be undermined by excessive attention to election preparations. The global economy still facing significant challenges. According to Anwar, the coming months should be fully utilised to strengthen economic growth and address issues affecting the people.
Dalam soal Johor ini, itu terserahlah dia nak adakan pilihan yang lebih awal. Tapi saya kata tumpuan kita menjana pertumbuhan, ekonomi negara, masalah rakyat. Ini masalah rakyat itu kalau dalam 3-4 bulan ini kita sibuk soal pilihan raya. Padahal kalau kita dapat dalam 2-3 bulan dalam keadaan krisis ekonomi, tumpu, itu saya bahas.
Anwar further elaborates on cooperation and consensus among parties within the government, that it must continue to be strengthened to ensure political stability is maintained. Political stability remains a key factor in enabling the government to stay focused on its development agenda and the country's economic growth.
Sarawak needs to invest in upgrading its electricity transmission infrastructure to support future energy trading and rising cross-border power flows as regional energy connectivity continues to expand. Deputy Prime Minister Dr. Ahmad Fadilah Yusof says the success of the ASEAN power grid still depends on each member country's ability to upgrade its own infrastructure.
Cabarannya ada negeri ataupun negara yang dari segi kemampuan belum dapat upgrade grid setidaknya lah. Tapi untuk di ASEAN yang dah ada untuk rantaian hubungannya ialah daripada Laos, Thailand, Malaysia dan Singapura. Sarawak sudah pun dihubungkan ke Kalimantan Barat, ke Sabah dan insya-Allah ke Brunei. Sebabnya untuk ASEAN Grid dalam rantau kita tu Sarawak, Borneo, Kalimantan, Sabah dengan Brunei kelak menjadi apa dikatakan the Borneo Grid. Tempoh pelaksanaan bergantung dengan kemampuan di peringkat negara masing-masing. Di peringkat Semenanjung, TMB sudah berkomitmen sehingga tahun 2028 akan melabur lebih kurang 42 bilion ringgit untuk upgrade all the grid kepada ada sebahagiannya akan menjadi 500 kV.
The planned ASEAN power grid network also includes a connection from Sarawak to Peninsula Malaysia via Johor before extending power exports to Singapore. Commenting further, Fadilah reveals the proposed undersea cable project linking Sarawak and Johor remains in the planning stage as Malaysia awaits approval from Indonesia to conduct seabed studies. Between 60 and 70% of the cable route passes through Indonesian waters, making Jakarta's consent a prerequisite before surveys can begin. A formal request has already been submitted, and once approval is obtained, Sarawak Energy Berhad SEB and other stakeholders will carry out seabed surveys to determine the final route of the cable.
Tensions remain high across West Asia as funeral arrangements for Iran's former supreme leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei are set for July 9th in Mashhad, following days of public tributes in Tehran and Qom, with large gatherings also reported in Pakistan. Regional diplomacy continues alongside the crisis as Pakistan and Egypt discuss developments around a possible US-Iran deal with hopes it could help ease wider instability despite conflicting signals from Washington and Tehran. And now we go over to Hendy Gui for more on the recap.
Right, thank you, Cheryl. The latest update. Former Iranian Supreme Leader, the late Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, is scheduled to be laid to rest at the Imam Reza Shrine in Mashhad on July 9th, following a series of final tributes and funeral processions held in Tehran and Qom. Thousands of people gather in Lahore, in Pakistan, to pay tribute to Iran's slain Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, killed in late February when the US and Israel launched airstrikes against Iran. Tehran.
उस वक्त ये फायदेमंद होगा कि अमेरिका जिस तरह अपने और उनके जो साथी हैं उनके मफाद का ख्याल रखते हैं, अगर वो इंसानी हुकूक और इंसानी जो करामात हैं, इंसानी हुकूक जो है, अगर उसका ख्याल किया जाए तो उसका फ़ायदा होगा। लेकिन ये अभी आप देख रहे हैं कि हमेशा ये लोग एग्रीमेंट में, मुज़ाकरात में इस तरह करते हैं, एक तरफा।
Press TV reports that final tribute ceremonies will be held at the Imam Khomeini Musalla in Tehran on July 4th and 5th, corresponding to the 19th and 20th of Muharram. A funeral procession in the Iranian capital is scheduled for July 6th, before continuing in the city of a day later. The final burial ceremony will take place in Mashhad on July 9th. Now, Pakistan and Egypt's top diplomats spoke for the second time in 24 hours as they discussed regional developments ahead of a possible US-Iran deal, Pakistan's foreign ministry said on Sunday. Over the phone, Ishaq Dar and his Egyptian counterpart, Badr Abdelati, discussed progress towards a potential understanding between Washington and Tehran. They expressed hope that these positive developments would contribute to lasting peace, security and stability across the region. Pakistan, which mediated a ceasefire in the US-Israeli war on Iran in April, has maintained regular consultations with key regional and international stakeholders for a permanent end to the conflict that engulfed the entire West Asia. Dozens of law fishing boats lay anchored in flat waters of Mozambique's capital, stranded for days as surging fuel costs kept their owners from heading out to sea. Since the government hiked prices in early May because of the impact of the Middle East conflict on supply, many fishermen in Maputo's quiet pescadores quarters have not had the cash to fuel a fishing trip.
Temos que apelar os países que estão em conflito, porque os conflitos que estão a acontecer do outro lado não afeta só aqueles países, afeta o mundo inteiro, porque o líquido precioso não ajuda só o Irã, não ajuda só a América, não. Ajuda todo o mundo inteiro. Então, apelamos que mesmo sente e conversa para ultrapassar essa corrupção que está a afetar o mundo em geral.
Mozambique's energy authority in early May increased the cost of petrol by 12% to 83.6 meticai, or $1.3 a litre. Meanwhile, diesel rose by nearly 46% to a record $1.8 a litre. While fuel costs are slightly higher in other countries in the region, the sharp increase, coupled with erratic supply, has hit hard in Mozambique, which was listed as the world's second poorest country in a World Bank economic update published in March 2026. The issue of mine clearing in the strategically important strait, which is critical to global oil trade. The US had capabilities in that area, but some G7 countries also had considerable capabilities that they were willing to make available voluntarily. Neutral naval mission in the Strait of Hormuz is being prepared under the leadership of France and Britain. More than 40 countries have pledged their support, including Germany. Mine clearing is also part of that mission. Now that's the latest for now. Back to you, Cheryl.
All right, and now on to back to nation development. Malaysia is closely monitoring the development of the El Nino phenomenon, which is expected to influence Malaysia's weather conditions in the near future and may persist until early 2027. Director General Dr. Muhammad Hisham Muhammad Anip says the phenomenon is expected to bring hotter and drier than normal conditions, particularly during the southwest monsoon, which began on May 14 and is forecast to continue until September.
He says the conditions may reduce rainfall in several areas, increasing the risk of water shortages, forests and peatland fires and haze. As a preparedness measure, he reiterates Met Malaysia has strengthened the dissemination of weather updates and early warnings to the government, relevant agencies and the public. He adds that as of June 2026, Met Malaysia has conducted more than 70 briefings, meetings and engagement programs nationwide at national, state and district levels regarding hot and dry weather conditions. Dr. Hisham says key engagements include briefings for the Economy Ministry, the Natural Resources and Environmental Sustainability Ministry, NRES, the National Economic Action Council, M10, the Agriculture Department, as well as state and district disaster management committees. Met Malaysia also provides up to 7-day forecasts for forest and peatland fire risks, issues haze outlooks, and stands ready to support cloud seeding operations if required and if weather conditions permit. The public is advised to stay updated via the My Cuaca app and Met Malaysia's official website, conserve water and avoid open burning.
I'm Charles Manto. Thank you for watching and have a good night.